Good morning, Goody Bong, Patty Charlotte. This is day 41 and I'm on the trail, and I'm at Springer, well, not Springer, but Spring Mountain Shelter. And this is a very unusual morning. I made it into camp here yesterday afternoon. It was 11 miles, 11.2 from Hot Springs. I've got Mirage over there in that green tent. This is my tent. I've got my sleeping bag, fleece, pillow, and pad. Some stuff scattered around. This is the first night that I haven't put my pack in my tent. For some reason, I just felt like I shouldn't. So it's on the other side of that tree right there. Don't think you can even see it, but that was probably a mistake. I ended up listening to all the different sounds last night, wondering if something was getting into my pack. So that was a nuisance. And then I was too lazy to get up and pull my pack into my tent because I was cozy and warm. It was a pretty warm night. I decided, let's see, I have Craig and Lux, Venus. Venus's friend Pringles is hiking with us for a week. And then Cowbell's with them, and they all stopped at the last campgrounds, which is about 2.6 miles behind us. So this morning, Mirage and I are kind of hanging out, taking a lazy morning until the rest of them get here to this shelter. The shelters here in North Carolina are pretty crummy, very old, and not roomy, not much of an overhang for protection. The privy is good for a privy. It's at least private, although the door won't shut because it would slam on your knees. That's how small it is. But it was nice to have a privy this morning. And the bear hang is fine. Water is close. So this is a decent stop here. And we're sort of up on a hill from the shelter where to get flat ground for our tents, but I'll try to give you a look down there. You can't see it really with the trees, but maybe you could see the bear hang over there. Maybe you could see, oh, you can't see it right now, but the sun already came up over that hill right there, but the clouds are out. Blue sky straight above, but clouds right there. It's about 45 to 50 degrees right now. Not that cold, but it was windy, so I put my hat on. And it's a very rare morning when I have more than coffee, so I had oatmeal in my coffee, maple oatmeal and coffee. Not bad, try it out, give it a try. And this morning is really rare because I decided to make some hot chocolate. So I have my hot chocolate. This is my stove system, and it's a jet boil. I have a little bit bigger pot than the average jet boil. I went with the 1 liter instead of the 0.8 liter, just so that I could fit more food in it, And so yeah, I'm sitting on my ground pad, having some hot chocolate. I just want to say a couple things about Hot Springs. It's a great town. I talked about the vortex in the last video. Yep, it will suck you in and take your money and take your time. But we got in, and once you walk into town, you're right there at the Laughing Lodge, Laughing something Lodge, which is a hostel, and it's nice. I stayed there for $10 to camp on their nice green lawn, $5 for laundry, and I got to use their shower facilities. I could use their kitchen and cook stuff if I wanted. So that was a nice day. And then Craig and I and Mirage, we all packed up. We were ready to go at 1 p.m. and then all of a sudden, just this beautiful day. All three of us were tired. We had done our food preparation because we had a food box, so we shifted it to stay another night, and we stayed above the Spring Creek restaurant, which you'll see in the videos or pictures, has a creek running by it with a patio deck for people to eat on, and that's like the main hangout in town for hikers. and we stayed up there. It was a nice room. It was expensive. It was $80 for Craig and I, but we just did it and had a good time staying there. Lance and Brian are still there at Hot Springs. I don't know if they're getting out today, but Brian finally got some nice shoes to take care of his feet because they were torturing him. And so maybe they'll get out of there today with Scuba Steve. Michelle, I think, got out of there, although she had like food poisoning when she got into town, so she was staying at the lodge. She may have stayed another night. I don't know yet. Haven't heard. Let's see. When you get into town and if you don't stay at the hostel, as you walk down into the town on the road, there's a general store which is open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. There is a diner behind the general store, which is fantastic. You can have breakfast there at 7 a.m. if you want. A lot of hikers go there. Craig and I ate breakfast, both of us, 2 days in a row for less than $15, which is pretty cheap when you're on the road. But it was fantastic. And then at the corner gas station there, next to it is a hillbilly market. And they have a bunch of unique stuff in there. They actually have some hiker resupply stuff, which wasn't in the general store. Dollar General is what it is. And they have milkshakes that are fantastic. A lot of different flavors. Craig and I both had chocolate, and it was unbelievably good. You have to wait a while for them to fix it, but boy, was it good. Worth the wait. We weren't in a hurry. Then as you walk downtown, you'll have the post office on your left from 10 to 4. Get your stuff shipped there if you want. Pick it up and reship. There's a visitor center on the right, which has a Wi-Fi, so you can sit outside there and do Wi-Fi. Further down on the left, you'll run into, like I said, the Spring Creek restaurant. They have rooms above it. There's a bunch of little places in town that have rooms if you want. There is an outfitter across from Spring Creek, which is a really good outfitter. They had a lot of good stuff in there. And I had shipped my stuff to the outfitter. Craig shipped his to the post office. Didn't make a whole lot of difference. I guess the hours would have been more flexible for my box to pick up at the outfitter, but it didn't matter. They didn't charge me to pick up, which was great. And then just a few doors down from the outfitter is the library. You can go in the library and do computer work. There's like 6 or 7 large screen computers connected to the internet, and they have a Wi-Fi at the library, so you can sit outside or sit inside and do Wi-Fi. The town itself had no AT&T service, which was a disappointment. I don't understand it. I was talking to my sister on the phone on the mountain. Coming in towards Hot Springs, and I could actually see the town, and then my phone went dead and there was no more signal until I came out. So no AT&T signal in Hot Springs. And a lot of businesses didn't have Wi-Fi, but the library does and the visitor center does. There's an ice cream shop by the railroad tracks. If you wanted to get ice cream, it's actually a shop that does ice cream and antiques. That's what the sign says, ice cream and antiques. And then there's the big river, and there's the hot springs. The girls all went to the hot springs, sat in a hot tub for an hour or whatever. They loved it. You can stealth camp on the river if you want to get by really cheap. And just a nice town, and there's a lot of hikers that come through that town. The trail actually is the road through the town, so you can't avoid going through the town, but it was nice. So that's it for Hot Springs. I hiked out 11.2 miles. I'm at Spring Mountain Shelter. I have a dilemma here for today. There's a hostel about 6 miles down the hike today, and after that there's nothing for 2 days, I think. 2 days worth of hiking, maybe 3 if I'm slow. And we have massive thunderstorms coming all day tomorrow. So I don't think I'm gonna hike through it. I just, they're calling for minimum of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, 100% chance with thunderstorms. Am I a sissy? I don't want to hike in the rain, set up camp in the rain. be wet all night and break down in the rain in the morning and be cold. And then Monday morning is, or Sunday night is cold enough to be snow showers, and Monday morning snow showers. And so when they say that, then you can count on up in the mountains it's a little bit colder and it's a little more likely for rain and snow, as the clouds got to dump something when they fly over, not to mention wind. So once again, I am adjusting my hiking to accommodate the weather that I don't like. But boy, did we have the last 3 days great weather. Yesterday's hiking was the biggest, most satisfying hiking day that I've ever had in my life, of course, on the 40 days on the trail, on this adventure. So it was just beautiful. It was hot at times. You know, there was one point I checked my pack thermometer and it was 85 degrees, and that was on the side of a mountain where the sun was hitting and there was no breeze. And then when you get on another side of the ridge, you'd have a nice breeze that was probably 70 degree temperatures, which would cool you off. But man, it was just beautiful, sunny all day. It was so fun. I felt very strong, very capable. My legs were, you know, extra reserve energy. I had no trouble at all. So I kind of got, I'm at the point where I'm going to just say I have my hiker legs, whatever that means. I have stamina, strength, endurance, and I had a heavy pack and it just didn't matter. I just marched on. So we'll see what happens today. There's a little bit of blue sky left before the rain. I think the rain is coming tonight sometime. And so I expect it to be warm today, 70 degrees or so. So another beautiful day of hiking, and we'll see what happens tonight. So I will continue to enjoy my hot chocolate here. Yep. All right. I have taken up a lot of time here chatting in the morning. Hope that everyone's doing good out there in the real world, the Matrix. Let's see. Charlotte and Patty, I miss our calls. I wish that I could, actually today, if it's, I don't even know what day of the week it is. Oh, Saturday. So I think you do a call. I'm gonna try to get on your call today. And to those of you that have been commenting on either YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much. It really warms my heart. It inspires me, keeps me accountable, you know, just in those rare moments when it's like, oh my God, what am I doing out here? This is miserable, blah, blah, blah. And I think about, I could just go home. Actually, I don't have a home, but I could just get off the trail. And then I think, man, all those people know that I'm out here. I can't sneak off the trail and get away with it. So, but you know, that's just a 1% of the time that I feel that way. There are some down times that aren't as drastic as that, but for the most part, it's a 90% good feeling out here. And you know, 50% or 20% of that 90% is blissful. It's just freaking amazing being out here. So I think I'm officially an experienced hiker at this point. I was contemplating that a week or two ago, but at this point, yeah, I'm an experienced hiker. I'm an AT hiker. Kind of cool, kind of fun, you know, for somewhat of a city boy here. And you know, I'm seeing a lot of people that I've met in the past that we just come across again. It's interesting, you know, if somebody gets off the trail that hikes faster than you, you'll see them when they get back on because they'll come hike right by you again. And it's just fun. It's just cool. You know, there's very unique people out here. Their stories are all different and fun to hear. You know, there's a lot of people I don't talk to, but, you know, I pick the ones that I find interesting and just chat it up a bit. Sometimes I'm kind of quiet myself. If I come in, like last night I came into camp here, I was pretty exhausted and just kind of kept quiet and did my meal and everything, but then I ended up talking to a couple people. So, this is what it is to be on the AT. All right, that's enough jibber jabbering. You guys have a great day. I'm having one. All right, so pretty great hike today. I've done about 3.5 miles. Got 2 to go. short day today for getting picked up at the hospital at Log Cabin Drive. The hospital is only 0.7 miles away from the trailhead, so pretty simple to get there, I think. I was going to say something about hiking with people that I've noticed, and in the beginning it was just me and Craig, and we would, pretty much stick together. If I got 50 yards ahead, that was a pretty long way, or if he did. And then after the first week, if you got 10 minutes ahead, that was a long way. And then later it was, okay, maybe I'm an hour difference in time between us. And then later it's like, okay, doesn't matter if you start at the same time. You might get up and go early. Really the only thing you plan is like option 1 and 2 for destination, maybe a place to have lunch. And so the cool thing is that you just hike your own hike, and you probably go a little crazy not hiking your own hikes. The whole thing about coming out here is to be able to just do your thing, and it's really beneficial sometimes to be alone in the woods and just be able to think and think and think. The last 3 days I've added music to my hike, which has been freaking amazing. I hadn't heard music for a long time. It was just so inspiring, and I got a little tired of other people listening to music and not being able to hear me or ignoring me or checking out or whatever. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do some music, and it's been really fun, especially when you play inspiring music. It's really cool. But anyway, it's pretty interesting now because the tramley, if you will, it's kind of breaking up a little, certainly in our hike. And I think Brian and Lance are still back at Hot Springs, and maybe they'll leave today, maybe they won't. I know they're in the vortex there, having a good time. Most of the girls left yesterday. Caught me and Craig at one point, but I motored on, and Mirage and I, of course, ended up this morning the furthest out at 10 something miles. But Craig met me early this morning, and we sat around a little bit and chatted, waited for Nico, and then got started. Nico stayed behind, waited for the other girls, and so they're all behind me. Craig is shortly behind me. I don't see him right there, but he's not far. And by the way, Craig has blown the mileage out of the water. He did a sneaky thing. We've been doing, I think 14.5 was our longest trail day or whatever, and we'd all done the same thing. But when he left Max Patch, it was a few thousand feet down in elevation, and the end point was Hot Springs at 20 miles. So Craig hiked 20 miles. So now he's kicking my ass on mileage for a day, and he didn't have the sensitivity to go to 16 or 18. He went to 20. So now I'm gonna have to do 22 miles to one up him, which is oh my goodness. You just play little competition games. That keeps you going, keeps you happy, makes it fun. But that's going to be a damn long hike for me, since the best I've done is about 13, 14, something there. But I'm up for it, and I'm ready, because man, do I feel good. My legs are strong. They're still skinny like bird legs, but man, they are pumping. They're like, let's go. Like a dog you can't hold back. So it's kind of funny. So we'll see what happens. I'll pick a strategic day and see what I can do. See if I can do it without injuring myself or causing myself a 2-day zero or something. But anyway, that's awesome for Craig. I'm so glad he did it. It made him feel really good, pumped up, and that's a huge accomplishment. And he was suffering from working on his trail legs for quite a while, and he was always at the back of the pack. So it's really cool that he's got him and Michelle did the 20 miles. They So they carry the flag right now. Good job, Craig, and good job, Michelle. But there's 1,900 more miles to go. We'll see what happens. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of this trail. That's the trail I'm on right now. I was up in the trees a little bit ago. Now I'm back in the rhododendron forest. The more you come down, the more you hit this stuff. And of course, the closer you are to water, the more you have this green vegetation. But a beautiful day again. We looked at the radar though, and we got some heavy clouds coming at us. So I'm going to try to avoid that. For those of you that are wondering, there's my poles. Once in a while when I do these videos, people ask about my poles. I really do have poles. And yes, they do tend to be, well, they take some of the weight off your legs when you're going uphill. They keep you balanced going downhill. And once in a while, they save your life from going over the edge of a cliff. And they are extremely useful. I remember the first 2 days, I carried my poles the majority of the time. I didn't want them. I was like, what do I do with these stupid poles? I was like carrying them under my arm. Didn't even realize my pack would carry them. And but man, did I grow to love them. They are my stability out here. Thank God for hiking poles. What a beautiful forest. Look at this. Once in a while out here hiking too, like I've had a tree branch just randomly fall. It went like 40 feet from me, but I caught it with the corner of my eye and saw it and heard it and it hit. And I imagine that happens once in a while too, because I hear noises and you like think, okay, what's that? Is that a bear? Is that a mountain lion? That's the first two thoughts, because that's the first threats. But it's pretty cool because you just look around. I try to look in the distance to see if I could ever see a bear, but I haven't yet. Once again, I'm fortunate to have been out here prior to all the vegetation coming into play, because we've had beautiful scenery through the trees, and I know real soon I can see buds on the trees down this low. There's going to be leaves and it's all going to be green. We aren't even going to have any. Won't even have any sunburn on the top of that bald head of mine. So that's when they call it the green tunnel, and that will be a majority of the hike. So I'm glad to have got the experience, even though it was torturously cold and bad weather, but I'm thankful for it. So all right, I'll check in at the hostel. All right, so my trail, oftentimes it does cross these fire roads, or whatever you want to call them. And of course you see a road off over there in the distance. That's quite often you cross roads here, either over or under on the trail. I believe the trail goes right there. But I saw this, and this is cool. Mom and Dad Country Store, 100 feet, cash only. I think I'll go check it out, because I can see the trail is going to cross the road down there anyway. So I've got, let's see, it's about 12 o'clock now. I scheduled a 1 o'clock pickup. It's only a mile, 1.5 miles away, so I got plenty of time to check out Mom and Dad's store, just for curiosity's sake, and who knows, maybe a delicious treat of some sort. And so I'm off to do that. All right, so that was probably 300 feet, and I can neither confirm nor deny that I made an addition to his marketing plan. Was that there before, or is that a new addition? All right, yummy. Back on the, I'm at Allen Gap, only a couple hundred feet from that little store I was just at. And let's see, so far on the trail, I'm at mile 286.5. Civilization 286.5 miles with a freaking pack on my back. Oh, excuse me, burping. I had a Yahoo and I had a Klondike, but I could neither confirm nor deny that that wrapper was mine on this sign. All right, see you at the top. All right, I wanted to show you a quick introduction to camping on the trail because there's so many of these little camp spots along the trail that are not marked, but this is like a little campsite. This is probably a bedroom here. Here's the living room, and there's the fireplace. That's the veranda down there. There's a door there that goes over there to a bedroom, but across the hall, or the AT, across the hall, there's a bedroom here, and then down the path here, there's the study, and then this is a little bedroom over here, and of course a little bathroom over here. Bathroom. It's a bathroom because you can sit on a log. All right, so that happens all along the trail. A lot of times on beautiful vistas or down in gullies, could be anywhere. You get these little tiny campsites that'll take 1 or 2 tents. Some of them will take 5 or 6 tents or more. And probably only about 1 out of 10 are marked on the trail as official campsites. But it's pretty cool that they're usually very clean. Oh, that must be the shed. Throw a tent right there if you wanted to. Get away from your friends and their bathroom smell. So you have a lot of that along the trail. It's really cool. It's usually in very choice sites. Down here is cool because this ground is really soft. Got all kinds of pine needles and very cushiony. Up high you find that a lot with the pine needles as well. The main thing you got to be careful of is not sleeping on a root or a rock. Telltale sign right there. All right, that's it for now. Now this is a rare incident when one of my, I guess, second official trail magic.
Yeah, I think there's another path, but I don't know where it is. That way I know for sure it is.
Yeah, just up that, head a little bit more.
Is that Log Cabin Road?
Log Cabin Road.
Yeah.
It's
How you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
What inspired you to do trail magic?
Well,
Been out before?
No, we both started watching videos, watched 7 on YouTube for a while, and kind of got into the thing, and then we moved here and realized the trail's just right down the road from our house.
It's pretty cool, huh?
So like, shit, we may as well help these guys out.
It is awesome.
You know?
It's really cool that you're doing it. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's my second trail magic, and happy to be here. So I'm just going to cut this off real quick. Well, that was close. I showed up right when this guy was about to pull away because I was 9 minutes late, but I made it. He saw me coming, so I am in the truck, headed 0.7 miles to the hostel. See you there.